Hi there, folks. So I wanted to quickly show you the way we save tomato seeds. As we started picking tomatoes in the last 3 weeks, more and more high quality fruit are becoming ripe. So this is the perfect time to start saving seeds. And today I'm using this opportunity to show you the 3 stages, so to speak, of saving the seeds. Coming out of the well-ripened, even a bit overripe fruit, such as this one, and then fermenting the seed, and then the final washed and dried seed as well. So to quickly sum things up, you need a well-ripened or even a bit overripe tomato, such as this one. I'm not sure if that will be visible in the video, but the bottom here is slightly darker colored and very soft to the touch. This is a small size tomato coming out, and those are the regular size, but this is a little bit bigger, coming out of one of our determinate very early variety tomatoes, which is called Labrador. By the way, this is my new purple thumb because I split my finger in two last week and I have to wear this rubber glove piece now to keep the wound safe. So what I'm doing is I'll just split the tomato. You can cut it any way you like. I personally prefer to cut it like this because it exposes the cavities the best. And you can easily see that this is not the perfect salad or slicing or beefsteak tomato, and this is indicated by the fact that you have several white cavities with lots of seeds, with a lot of seed pulp around them. And the classical slicing tomato here, or as we call it, salad tomato, it's almost solid with just very few cavities. The other day we opened one of the seeds here from a tomato which was half a kilo, so about 1 pound in weight, and the whole tomato had this many seeds, which is just a few. And this small tomato, it will easily have 2 or 3 times more. So then what you do is we use those stainless steel containers very simply and without anything special. I just use a small spoon to scoop all of the seeds along with the pulp into this stainless steel cup. I'm not trying to get each and every last seed because there are plenty of them and I'll have more tomatoes to harvest. But usually what you want to harvest, at least what we do, is harvest one of the largest tomatoes of the bunch, which is usually the first or second cluster of tomatoes, and also it's good to be typical for the variety, and then we harvest from another plant, maybe a bit smaller tomato, but with another interesting characteristics. For example, this tomato came from a plant which grew more vigorously in height instead of more spread out. So maybe we'll be getting a bit of a different genetics here. And I'll be scooping those seeds as well. I can definitely see that the structure of this tomato inside is different, and also the seeds are a bit different. And I'm always trying to mix at least 2 plants and 2 fruit seeds into a single batch. Now this mass of seeds and pulp is almost ready. I'm adding just a little bit of a drinking water. You can see that there are pieces of pulp here with seeds attached. Not to worry, we just leave that aside for a couple of days depending on your temperature. This could take from 3 or 4 days up to 10 days. And always, very important, I usually forget that, place a label on your vessel so you know what seeds you are fermenting, like that. So I'm setting that aside, and now I wanted to show you some of the seeds that have been fermenting for a few days, maybe a week. You can see that here the seeds are settled at the bottom, and if I stir them, you can see that they come out cleanly, no pulp mostly attached to them, and no seeds are floating on the top after I stir and let it settle. So that means that most of the seeds here are properly ripened. One of the other varieties had some mold on top. That's absolutely not a problem for fermenting the seed. You are washing this off anyway. And now that sometimes in our fermenting seeds, this mold gets very thick, we just scoop it out with the spoon, add some more water, and basically wait for the moment where the clean liquid is separated at the top and the seeds seem separated from the pulp when you are stirring one of those tiny little stainless spoons. After you have reached that stage, what we do is just pour the whole contents into such a small strainer and run it over under the running water, put it under the running water in the sink for a couple of seconds, and the seeds separate very nicely. And now I move to the bathroom because our kitchen sink seems to be occupied, and I just wanted to show you the process of straining and washing the seeds. You can I'll slowly pour the liquid so you can see how the seeds kind of remain at the bottom, and there's still some seeds attached to the pulp here, which even if you throw them away, it's not a massive waste, because you can see that I have easily 50 seeds here from just a couple of, let me see, red cherry tomatoes. But you can throw those away and then pour the rest, add some water, just stir those a little bit, just for a second, and you can see how clean those seeds came out of the fermentation process. We're back here at the table, and now I wanted to show you basically final step. Those pieces of cotton cloth, we use them to dry the seeds, and those seeds have been standing here for a couple of days, so they're completely dry. And I'll just put them back into the original pot in which they were fermenting. Of course, this is dry as well, with the label still intact. It's orange heart-shaped tomato. We call those ox heart. So this is orange ox heart. And I'll try to see and put a photo of this tomato if I have made one this year. So this is now ready to be put in a labeled Ziploc bag. But just for the moment I need this cotton rag, which is also dry. And what I'll be doing is just tap the small sieve, and you can see the seeds here very nicely cleaned and separated. In a couple of days they'll be dry as well, such as those. And this little pot will sit here to signify which variety of tomato it is. We don't keep those on the dining table, of course. We keep them up on the windowsills out of reach, because kids otherwise love to play with those. And now I'll be doing the same with this one. This is a golden medal variety, one of my absolutely favorite large size tomatoes. Excellent color, excellent flavor, great balance of sweet and sour. So this is also ready, and with those pots I really like that you can stack them even with the seeds inside. So like 10 varieties is just a small stack of pots, and we usually stack them that way until we're ready to put them away for winter storage. Now I have to go and wash the other two varieties. This one is a candy cherry, and this one is one of our biggest tomatoes this year. Okay, so I washed the other two varieties and they'll be set to dry now. And I also selected pulp from another small tomato varieties. It's like a big cherry, but it has certain uses in our climate. So we're also growing and saving that. And those two will be left to ferment for a week, and those will be put away in a couple of days when they're dry and ready. That was all for today, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.